the spiritual and artistic and emotional energy that's here is really, really amazing. And it's definitely part of what we are experiencing here, what I've been experiencing. Actually having unstructured time, I think we were all a little bit intimidated by that. Oh, there's no schedule. Oh, there's no requirements. No, there aren't, except that you find your way.
Windcall is 30 years old, and we have been providing month-long sabbaticals for organizers from all over the country. And we are looking and inviting you to reflect on the day as to how do we heal from trauma and move towards embracing liberation.
I'm the founder of an organization called Legal Services for Prisoners with Children. And I really believe that a lot of us come to this work because of our own direct experience. 6 of my siblings are in recovery from serious drug and alcohol use, and 3 of my brothers have done time. I have at times questioned whether choosing to work in progressive, nonprofit, public interest work was the right path for me, and I do believe that it is. But I do see that many of my colleagues and friends are challenged now. It doesn't matter what work you're doing in social justice. It tears your heart out every day. I have been in this work for 40 years. I really need the opportunity to catch my breath.
Thank you, water, for the reflection you give when we look to you.
I believe deeply in solidarity and standing up and putting my body behind my beliefs and my labor behind my beliefs. I grew up in a community that had a power plant, that had an oil depot, no investment in our schools or our community, and still manages to be beautiful and have so much grace. I think in the last couple years, it's just become really clear to me that I have limits and that my body's actually been breaking down and my spirit is tired. I have been so scared that I have nothing left to give. And so this retreat and Windcall is so timely because I've been deeply feeling the edges of that and knowing that I need to shift and evolve so that I can stay in this work.
It's a pretty radical departure from leading thousands of workers and campaigning against corporate America and doing civil disobedience on a mass scale, and now we cook for people and scrub toilets, and it's the Windcall residents are exactly the kind of people we had in mind when we made the shift.
Perky and powerful, I bet. I bet they're peppery. Let me see. Did you taste them? Oh.
Here, their whole day revolves around caring for themselves inside out.
For me, a lot of it's been looking back on 40 years of the work and trying to get a clearer picture about what it means for me as a progressive, a radical, white woman who's committed to racial justice. What does that mean in terms of my usefulness to the movement? Actually having people say that they're happy to support me in doing this has meant a tremendous amount. So, yeah.
I don't think anything prepared me for the level of guilt I have felt being here. It is incredible how stopping feels like failure. How saying I have limits feels like failure. One of the scariest things about being here is that there is There is nothing else to fix but me. What I remember feeling in that retreat was, how do I actually learn to just be who I am? Outside of obligations, outside of the shoulds, outside of the everybody else's dreams, and to meet myself in a pretty bare state.
I think the Windcall residency really provided the space where I could completely drop into what could a different life look like. I'm starting to become more clear on what my mission and sense of purpose is. And I think it's something around voice and authenticity. I'd love to be able to work with women and girls of color on what are the things that come from their experience, from their bodies, from their loves, from their lives, that actually advance justice.
As a white person of conscience committed to racial justice, I spent many years as an ED of an organization. When I left the organization I founded, I passed the baton to 2 formerly incarcerated people and found myself exploring the role that I felt like I needed to play in the world, in the community, and what I could do. For me, Windcall was a bridge between 2 really important movements, from the really hardcore fighting the monster of the prison system into the transformative nature of restorative justice and healing. It was an irreplaceable opportunity to stop and to consider my career, my work, the loved ones in my life, and where I was going next.
There is a difference actually in the way people lead and carry themselves after Windcall. I do believe that. And I don't think a lot of people know how many people are Windcall people.